This is a download from BBC London 94.9.
Hi there, I'm Amelia Papadopoulos and this is the Inside Chelsea podcast, the official podcast of your favourite club. This BBC London download looks at what's been happening in and around Stamford Bridge over the last 7 days and is available from the Chelsea website, the BBC London website and from iTunes. Well, to say this has been a week of mixed fortunes for the Chelsea first team would be an understatement. Facing local rivals Queen's Park Rangers at the weekend saw the Blues drop vital points as they went down by 1-0 at Loftus Road. However, the game came at a cost to the team, with a pair of red cards and various controversial altercations between a number of players. However, just a few days later, Chelsea found themselves in the quarter-finals of the Carling Cup following a titanic battle with Everton at Goodison Park, which ended with a victory for the Londoners after extra time, but at a cost when for the fourth time in 5 matches, the team yet again had a player dismissed. In this edition of the Inside Chelsea podcast, we'll get the post-match thoughts of manager Andre Villas-Boas following the West London derby, plus Petr Cech tells us how good it feels to be in the last 8 of the League Cup. So Chelsea failed to capitalise on Manchester United's defeat at home to Man City because they were involved in their own Premier League shock at the weekend. Meeting for the first time in the league for 15 years, the Blues were on the receiving end of a 1-0 defeat by Queen's Park Rangers. The team also finished the match with only 9 men after Jose Beskikbaar and Didier Drogba both received their marching orders. Following the game, manager Andre Villas-Boas gave his thoughts on the match.
Well, it was a difficult task, but I think the game was. I think we were superior during all the game. To be fair, even with the 9 men, I think the best opportunities fall to us. If you look back at this game in a 90-minute perspective, without the sending offs, it's Queen's Park Rangers had 1 penalty and 1 cross at the 78th minute, which could have led to a goal. The rest, there's nothing. So this leaves us with the sentiment that we were the superior team, even with the 9 men, even with 45 minutes with 9 men. So in the dressing room there is a sense of respect from everybody towards everybody, because we fought very, very hard, and with a little bit of luck we come out with a result with 10 men in a difficult West London derby. Very proud of the team, because the distance at the moment goes to 6 points behind the leader, but we were before 5 points behind the leader Man United, and we are just 1 point behind, and we have 2 clashes with Man City that can make us recover eventually. So it's early signs. We couldn't profit from getting points out of the Manchester derby, but this commitment gives us good signs towards the future, and as a manager you have to take it. The penalties are penalties that can be given or cannot be given, regarding the Luis penalty, but if he gives a soft penalty like that, he has to give soft penalties in the box in our chances as well, on the opposite side. So I don't know what is the difference of the treatment, but if you give a penalty like that, if there's a shove or something like that he has considered in that case, he has to consider a lot of shoves in the opposite box, and he didn't. So there is a difference of criteria there, which doesn't put us happy regarding that incident, because the judgment used was not the same. Regarding the sending off, I have nothing to say about Didier sending off, because it seems fair to me. But it doesn't seem fair to me that Pozinga was sent off, because I think JT is in a position of cover, and I think a yellow card should have been applied. So further to that, I really don't know. I really cannot understand the difference of judgment from the referee, from different kinds, not only the major decisions, but all of the other decisions, the fouls, the throw-ins. I just cannot understand it. And apart from the 4th ref, which was very educated to my emotions, I think the other 3 were led by the emotions of the crowd and couldn't take a game like this, not a West London derby of this emotion. And I think that decision after decision, yes, there was a couple of them wrong. Maybe I can be proven wrong by ourselves, But I have to share my disappointment from what I see and what I feel from my players, which is I think it's fair.
I'm Emilia Papadopoulos, and this is the Inside Chelsea podcast, available weekly from the Chelsea website, the BBC London website, and from iTunes. So, after the disappointment of the defeat at Loftus Road, the Blues were quickly back in action with a Carling Cup tie away at Everton. The manager made 10 changes from the side that began in the game against the Ars, and despite Nicolas Anelka missing a penalty, a goal from Solomon Kalou gave Chelsea the half-time lead. Everton then wasted a chance to get back in the match after the break when the Blues goalkeeper Ross Turnbull was sent off after conceding a penalty with a foul on Louis Saha. Petr Cech came on to replace Turnbull, and he saved Leighton Baines' penalty. The Toffees did finally get their equaliser in the 83rd minute, but in extra time, Daniel Sturridge grabbed the winner for the Blues. Manager Andre Villas-Boas was understandably delighted with his team's performance.
Yeah, I think there was a team to win. I think by the effort that we put through was us. I think both teams have had very, very good chances, one-on-one through with the keeper and for both sides. And so it means that the game was even. Everton put out a very, very strong team, so that means that they were committed to this trophy as well. And we were able to put not only to play good football but also to show commitment and desire towards this competition in one of the most difficult draws. So it was very, very important for us to go through, but going through with this fashion is even more gratifying.
You're probably sick of talking about red cards, but do you think your goalkeeper deserved to be sent off?
Well, yeah, I think so. It's the decision making, and it's done.
The performance of Petr Cech was quite remarkable, really, to be sitting on the bench and then to come on and make, I think it was 3 saves in 90 seconds to 2 minutes. That's astonishing.
Yeah, but I mean, Ross before was having a fantastic game as well. Not only defensively, but also in possession. And I was very happy with both of them. Both of them are very committed to the squad, and it's very important.
There were some really key moments. Once it came down to 10 each, Chelsea started to perform a bit like they did against 9 men against Queen's Park Rangers. When you do have a numerical disadvantage, or sometimes when it's all square, you can change the game and really take control of it.
Well, yeah, but I would also say that I think Everton had the mental edge when we were with 10 men, because the emotions were behind them from the stands, and they were on top emotionally, and they pressed high and they were more aggressive. Eventually, I think they, when it goes to 10 against 10, it played exactly the opposite, and we managed to be in control of our emotions, in control of the game, more motivated, knowing that we could find the back of the net before penalties, and we did it.
Daniel Sturridge has this happy knack of scoring really crucial goals at crucial times. This is becoming a real sort of theme of his, popping up at the right time.
Yeah, he found himself in a good position, and he put it in the back of the net. Fortunately, but for him to put it in the back of the net, the team has to create for him, and the team created the chance for him.
You seem very, very pleased with the performance at the end, and the players did as well. Was it vital that Chelsea turned in a real response today, made a real statement after what happened on Sunday?
Well, I think so. After any defeat, it's important to go back to winning ways. So the next competitive game was this one, and we got back to competitive ways in a very difficult game. It's never easy to play against Everton, home or away. And we did it with brilliancy. And again, in the Premiership, we have to do exactly the same. So we'll come back to winning ways in the Premiership and try to get the win.
Well, the star of the night was goalkeeper Petr Cech, who came on for Ross Turnbull without warming up, and his first job was to save a penalty.
And Baines steadies himself. Petr Cech is going to have to do something impressive here. Here goes Baines, saved! Comes back to Baines, saved again by Cech, and it's gone wide in the end. That is absolutely astonishing. Baines had 2 goes at that. The first effort was saved brilliantly by the Chelsea goalkeeper. His first touch of the game, he then got back up and saved the follow-up as well.
Oh, sometimes it's the way it is, and obviously when you go in and you know that you're facing a penalty kick, then it's not the ideal situation, and it was sitting on the bench, not even moving, and then suddenly have to come up. So the thing is that I was really watching the game, and I was watching what's happening around there, and so I had an idea anyway when I come on what's gonna happen, and then obviously with the first penalty save it helps. When you do the rebound, then you save the rebound, it helps even more. And then in 90 seconds there was a third save, and then I said, okay, now I'm warm enough. So obviously very pleased because I know it took me a little bit of a while to get into, to get really warm, but yeah, it was fine, and I think I'm very pleased with the fact that it's the first time it ever happened to me that I had to go in like that, and it was quite good.
When you're so used to playing all the time, when you're on the bench, do you have half your mind switched on ready? Because obviously you may have to come on at any point. How do you operate on the bench? Because you seem to come on pretty switched on.
Yeah, I'm kind of suffering on the bench because when you are used to being on the pitch and have a control of what's gonna happen, what can happen, at least you're being on the pitch, you have a little bit of control. You can help the others. On the bench, you just sit and watch. But as I said, I always what was happening around in case you go in. I knew that it's kind of half a feeling that I've been involved. So I think that helped.
So much happened in the game. I would imagine the Chelsea team are pretty relieved to get through.
So much happened. That's right. And they started quite well. And but I think after around 20 minutes, we got the control of the game. They played very well. We had few chances on the counter-attack, and we missed the penalty, which was a pity. But then we got lucky with the goal. And then of course unfortunately we made a mistake for before the penalty happened that it put Ross in a difficult position, and I think once you go to try to win your 1v1, and then if whatever happens then there is a sending off which is very harsh for the keeper, because you might do one half a foul during the whole game, then when you're off. I think penalty is a big enough punishment anyway, but it's the rules, and so I knew that as soon as that happened and the referee pointed to the penalty spot, I knew that I will have to come on. So that I was getting ready to think what Mr. Baines can do.
I'm Amelia Papadopoulos, and you've been listening to the Inside Chelsea podcast, the official podcast of your favourite club. And you'll be able to hear the next instalment from Thursday the 3rd of November, where we'll be looking back at two more important games. First off, the Premier League match against London rivals Arsenal, followed by the Champions League tie against FC Genk in Belgium. Until then, there's still lots to catch up on, and remember, you can keep right up to date with all the latest from your club. Keep an eye on Chelsea TV or check out the websites chelseafc.com or the BBC London website, which can be found at bbc.co.uk/London/sport. Until next time, it's goodbye.